Hi, welcome. Just give me a moment to get this all set up, so hopefully you'll be able to see everything that we're doing. Cool. So if you want to have a blanket and 2 blocks for our practice, that would be awesome. If you don't have them though, not to worry. I'm just gonna get mine. Happy Monday. All right, cool. So let's begin in a comfortable seat. So sitting cross-legged if that's good, and as you settle in, I'm going to once again adjust a little bit so we just are seeing each other clearly. And if you're seated, just beginning to breathe, noticing the breath. And that's actually exactly where we are going to begin today, is working with the breath. So sitting nice and tall, right, feeling like there's a lift from the top of the head, just drawing your spine up so that your torso is just like gently like stacking piece upon piece. The hands will rest on your thighs, and then wherever they rest, draw them back about an inch or two closer towards you. You can close your eyes if you want, or the gaze can be soft. And so I'll walk you through the pattern of the breath first. And then we'll have some time to just explore it on our own. So we'll be breathing in and out through the nose. So the inhale comes in and letting it be easeful. So a natural drawing in, feeling the breath fill up. And you'll just go until it feels full, and then there's a pause. And allow the pause to be as long as it needs to be until naturally the breath is ready to move back out. And then without any effort, right? So without pushing the breath, you're just going to soften and allow the breath to leave as it, right, sinks you down. Staying empty, right, pausing on the bottom of the exhale. There's naturally going to be a response from the breath to want to move in. So we're going to work with this pattern. So when you're ready, again, if you want to close your eyes, starting with the inhale, breathing gently, drawing the energy up from the root of the spine, and allowing yourself to pause whenever you're full. And then holding until the exhale is natural and softly leaves. Pausing on that exhale until the breath naturally draws itself back in. And seeing if your awareness, right, your mental attention can stay fully occupied on this breath. And we'll go for about a minute. No worries if the mind is wandering, right? Just continue to invite yourself back. Noticing if there are sensations or feelings. If you encounter tensions in the body, you are welcome to soften them, especially on that breath out. And just take one more of these breaths. And then you can just allow your breath to become natural if that wasn't natural. And just let it be there with a sense of ease. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. And just observe and notice the feeling and sensation of that practice, if anything changed or moved, and just observing. When I was thinking about what to offer for class today, I was immediately inspired by the weather that was happening. So if you're in Lancaster with me, It's like rainy and so windy, and the winds are coming in these incredibly strong gusts. And I'm watching as the trees are moving with the strong winds, and they're kind of whipping back and forth. And even the bushes of roses that are starting to bloom, all of them are kind of going through this chaotic cycle as the element of air moves in with its incredible strength. And it reminded me of this passage in the Tao Te Ching, and I wanted to share it with you today, as it will be our guide through this practice together. Human beings are soft and supple when alive, stiff and straight when dead. The myriad creatures, the grasses and trees, are soft and fragile when alive, dry and withered when dead. Therefore, it is said, the rigid person is a disciple of death. The soft, supple, and delicate are lovers of life. An army that is inflexible will not conquer. A tree that is inflexible will snap. The unyielding and mighty shall be brought low. The soft, supple, and delicate will be set above. I think there's so many ways for us to interpret that and understand that passage. But what I want to highlight and offer to you today, in response to like the witnessing of the trees moving in this wind, and just like in this time when there's chaotic feeling energies moving through our life that are kind of perhaps disturbing what we imagine as peacefulness. The only way to really survive, right, for the tree is to be flexible, to be willing to bend and move with what comes. And what allows it to do that is this sense of groundedness, this rooted connection. And so it's by holding both of these, like strength at the ground, allows freedom to be natural. And so perhaps we can kind of look to the wisdom of the trees today to guide us as we explore some balancing and some expansion of our branches. Allow your hands to let one hand find your chest and one hand find your belly. So feeling into your physical body, inviting the thinking mind to drop into the body. And we'll start our practice by chanting the sound of Om 3 times. So let's breathe in together. And I'll sing for you. I wanted to share with you the Gayatri mantra, which is a mantra that's ancient, and it calls to the forces of the universe. So tapping into this cosmic, ethereal, earthly energy. Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dayo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dayo Yona Prachodayat. Awesome. So if your eyes are closed, you can open them, and let's begin standing in the middle of our mat. If you're sitting on any props, just let them come to the side so they're out of the way, and I'll come to face you. And we're just going to start with a little bit of breath and extension. So feet can be hips width distance apart, connecting them to the ground, and then lift your toes so you can feel the heel and the ball of the foot on the ground. You can then begin to spread the toes as you connect them back into the ground. And just taking a moment here to observe the quality of rootedness in the feet. So if you're a visual person, you can actually, we will imagine a root system growing from the bottom of our feet and letting that connection really draw you down, 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 all the way towards the center of the earth. So feeling connected and stable in the feet. There's a slight lift of the kneecaps up to then begin to draw that rest of the energy up. So just like in our breath, the inhale was this lift and the exhale was a grounding. We're holding both of these polar energies within ourselves to allow grounded connectedness to open us up for a little bit more freedom. As you inhale, your arms will stretch up and overhead. As you exhale, hands find a prayer at the heart. Breathing in to lift up. Exhale, swan dive over your legs, folding forward. Hands come to shins, Ardha Uttanasana, so that's a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, breathe, the arms come up, and so this is our pattern where we will flow. Hands come to prayer at the heart on a breath out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan diving. Hands come to shins, spine length, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. The breath is spacious and patient. Taking your time, inhale, roll all the way up. Arms reach out of the fingertips. Exhale, hands to prayer. You can even close your eyes if you'd like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in for that extension, flat back. Exhale, fold. Arms lift, breathe in. Exhale to your heart. And last time, lifting up. Swan dive. Flat back as you breathe in. This time, fold and stay. So I'm going to just turn to face the front of my mat with you now. We'll stay in our forward fold, so you can bend your knees quite a bit here. Maybe reach for opposite elbows in ragdoll, or hands can connect on the mat. And so the backs of the legs are reaching up. So I really like to think of my tail and my sit bones reaching towards the sky. And then the downward energy now is running through the top of my head as I really drape and fold forward over my legs. If you'd like to sway from side to side here, sometimes for our first fold, it's nice to use some movement as a way to invite more stretch into the body. So I'm lifting my heels too to say hello to the toes and the feet. Really just creatively and intuitively moving your body. And then just have a little bit of extension in your spine, not quite a flat back, but just walk the hands out and then bring the left shin to the mat. And then you're going to bring the right shin to the mat. And then you're going to cross the ankles and sit back, easy pose once again. Bringing your hands to the thighs and just for a moment, using the hands to give yourself a little bit of massage down the legs. With touch, we're really able to bring our thinking mind into the other parts of our body as opposed to occupying just the sphere. So while we're giving this gentle massage of the legs, really noticing and feeling the sensations, maybe coming to the hips. Beautiful. Noticing where the sit bones connect to the ground, and as they plug into the earth, you're going to sit nice and tall. So we're feeling into the places where we're touching the ground, touching the earth, and then from there, allowing ourselves to really spread nice and tall. Beautiful. Let your hands wander back towards your thighs. And then the hands will rest on the thighs for a seated cat and cow. As you inhale, the chest reaches forward, shoulder blades draw back. There can be a gentle tilt of the head. Exhale, round the spine. Hands can reach forward as you even roll the hips. Breathing in, stretch the chest. Exhale, round. Breath is coming in and out through the nose. That's Ujjayi Pranayama. Using that sound in the back of the throat, right, especially on the exhale, to tone the nervous system. If you want to start moving a little more creatively, so maybe you're kind of rolling through your cat and cow, go for it. Moving in a way that feels like you and moving in a way that feels kind to you. And take a couple more rounds. So if there was any kind of other way you wanted to explore these shapes, feeling able to do so. Beautiful. And then find yourself just sitting nice and tall. Our arms will stretch up on our breath in. The right hand lowers, left arm stretches over. And I'd like to keep moving while we do this. So inhale to come up. Exhale, left hand lowers, right arm reaches. Your breath in brings you up. Your exhale takes you to the right. Breathing in, rise. And see if the arms can almost feel like tree branches swaying in the wind. And could it be like expressive with your arms? So maybe you kind of add a little bit of movement or reach of the fingers to just tune into that quality of flow, that soft and supple delicateness that allows the tree to withstand the force of the wind. One more to each side on your own breath. Breathe in, come up. Exhale. We'll keep moving though, so inhale, rise up. Twist to your right this time. And we'll keep moving. Breathe in, come up. Exhale. So here's another opportunity to let the arms be creative. And twisting over. Breathing in, come up. Over to the left. And you can pause in this shape right on the space between the inhale and the exhale. Last one, over to your left. If you're not there yet, just come all the way over there, and then your arms will lift. And then walk the hands out in front of you for a little bit of a forward fold. If that's not comfortable in your cross leg, just sit nice and tall. Maybe tuck chin towards chest. Breathing in here. Easy breath out. I'm coming onto hands and knees, so I'm going to have to drop back to my mat. And then extend the right leg long behind you off the ground. Toes are dialed down. And make some circles with the foot here. Spreading the fingertips, pressing into them and pressing into the knuckles. The navel is engaged towards the spine and the front of the ribs will knit in here. Left toes are tucked. Breathe in, the leg is long as you exhale, knee to nose. Breathe in to stretch. Exhale, knee to nose. Breathe and stretch. Knee to nose and pause. Step the right foot between the hands. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, looking forward. Your right arm will lift here as you take a twist, pressing into feet. Exhale, lower the right hand, step left foot to meet it as you fold forward. Arms will come all the way up and overhead. Hands will find a prayer at your heart. Bringing weight into that right foot, we're going to take our first tree pose of the practice with the left foot either connecting to the ankle, the calf, or maybe you adventure up towards the thigh. We're prioritizing the steadiness of the breath here. So maybe we feel a little bit more stable, right, with foot on the ground. And then just like when we were sitting, the crown of the head reaches up, but there's that energetic of roots in the feet connecting you. Like a paintbrush, so imagine your left foot as a paintbrush. You're going to slide it down your leg and cross it behind the right ankle. So we're going to go back up and then come down so we can just feel that once again. So like a paintbrush, the left leg draws up the right leg. And then it paints its way back down, crossing the ankles, so left is behind the right. Reach the arms up, right? Option for a little bit of a back bend here as the fingertips reach up and maybe overhead. On an exhale breath, folding long over the legs. Step the left foot back, lower the shin to the mat, and then right foot meets it in tabletop. From here, right away, the left leg will extend long, and we'll make some circles with that foot. Drawing shoulder blades onto the back of your body. The chest is broad. Having the navel draw in enough that you have support of the torso. If you're like me, I tend to whoop. So actively remembering to engage. As you inhale, the leg is long. As you exhale, draw it towards you. Breathe in to stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Getting long, breathe in. Exhale, draw the knee to nose and step the foot between the hands. Tucking the right toes, lifting the knee. It's a twist as you're ready. The left arm reaches as you extend. Feet press into the earth. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hand. Right foot steps to meet left as you fold forward. Then roll your way up to stand. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. This time it's the right foot. You can always use a hand to help you find the shape here. I really do like to think about pressing so the right foot into the left thigh to give that energy moving upward and then allowing the arms to blossom here in any way that you'd like. And remembering to breathe and love that breath. We're going to paint the right leg down, crossing the ankle behind the left. When you're ready, you're going to come back up, drawing that right leg up the thigh and pausing, and then lowering it back down, crossing the ankles. The arms lift, option for a back bend here, maybe interlacing the fingers as you reach up. When you're ready, on your exhale, fold forward. The right foot steps back all the way towards a low lunge this time, and then downward facing dog, take it back. Spreading fingertips here, and take a moment if you want to pedal the feet out and stretch, bending the knees, moving in any way that feels good to you. Relaxing the head, pressing into hands and then lifting up through arms. Shoulder blades come together on the back as you lift navel into spine. Let's all bend our knees here, maybe a little bit more if you already are. And as you feel the sit bones reach towards that upper corner of the wall. Heels are lowering towards the ground. And take 4 of your breaths here. Really actively reaching, so there's energy coming from the sit bones, the legs. Fingertips are really pressing into the earth. So we're hopefully feeling really engaged here. Maybe this is your last breath. And then we'll travel to the top of your mat, so that can be a hop or some steps as you fold forward. Bend the knees. Feet are hips width distance apart, chair pose. We're going to interlace the arms, so I'm just going to face you for a moment. So it's creating like a box over our head. So then lifting the elbows up to find lift in the chest. You can bring the grip more towards the wrists if this is tight for you, to give yourself a little bit more space, and then send the sit bones back. Start to bring weight into your right foot. Come onto the toes of the left foot. Slowly, as if you were moving through honey, take it back to a warrior 2, stepping that foot back. You're going to release the right hand. So the left hand is holding the right arm. And then stretch the right arm away, so towards that left foot. With your left hand, you're drawing the right arm towards you to get a little stretch in the side body. We're then going to flow in this shape. So as we inhale, right, we're in this warrior two. As you exhale, let the right arm go straight in the leg, left arm draws back. Breathe in, warrior two. Exhale, straighten, let the arms go, kind of like an archer's pose. Take a few more, right? Feel into it. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, last time. Inhale. And exhale. Keep traveling the right arm forward and then Trikonasana, triangle pose. The hand can come to a block or the ground or the shin, left arm stretches up. Feeling into a long line from left fingertip to right fingertip. Thighs working in towards each other. Breathe in together. Exhale, lower the left hand to the mat. Spin onto the ball of the left foot and hop it in for pyramid pose. I'm going to highly recommend having blocks here. And maybe if you have two, we'll use both of them stacked on top of each other. Right hip draws back, send weight into that right foot. And then let's bring our hands to our hips. Option to bind them behind the back, reaching for opposite elbows. As you fold over the left leg, or right leg, excuse me. If for any reason this is a balance that doesn't feel like safe or comfortable, the hands can certainly come to the floor, but if it's okay for you, experience kind of how the feet are rooting in and our bodies are gonna sway, right? Like that's part of finding the balance as we kind of adjust back and forth. But we just have to trust our root system. We'll take this into Parivrtta Trikonasana, so revolve, triangle, but it's early, so that's why I'd say stack yourself up nice and high. Left hand is to the block, right hand comes to the hip. Revolving from the navel as you open, so the shoulder is just that last piece. If this feels like, ooh, too much, you can always lower the left shin, right, and come to the ground. It's early, so we want to be quite kind to our bodies here. We'll breathe in together. Exhale, unwind, lower the right hand to the earth. If you've got blocks, just move them to the side. Step the left foot to meet right as you fold. Shake your hips out. It's chair pose once again, so we'll move through this on the other side. Interlacing arms, and then bend the knees, sweep them up and overhead. Deep breaths. Weight starts to come into that left foot, coming onto the toes of the right foot, and then an easy step back into warrior two. So this time the left arm stretches long as the right hand draws it towards you. Breathe in here. As you exhale, straighten the leg, archer the arms. Breathe in, come back. Exhale, release them. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. One last time as you breathe in. So we're setting up. Exhale, legs are long. Reaching forward on your exhale, Trikonasana. Letting the left hand find the floor or some support. Right arm stretches up. Thinking about the right hip stacking on to the left as the pelvis is really like an open expression here. Beautiful. Let's lower the right hand, spin onto the ball of the right foot, and hop it in for pyramid pose. Connect the feet first, and then arms will come behind the back as you're ready. Right, if you wobble, that just means that you're doing it right. We're meeting the challenge of balance.
And this balance really asks of us, diligence. We have to stay completely present with what's happening, because the moment we start to wander away, we lose a lot of control in the balance. We're finding flexibility in a couple different ways here, but primarily flexibility in the rest of our body to adapt, to allow us to stay strong in the roots. We're coming into Pavrita Trikonasana, so if you needed to reach for your blocks, remembering again, we're staying high here. Twisting from the belly, left arm will reach. My computer's about to die. All right. Pavrita Trikonasana. Again, you can lower the right shin to the mat if that felt like a better option for you. And then lower the left hand. Step the right foot to meet left, fold it forward and shake it out. Beautiful yogis. Come on up to stand. And let's shake it out for a moment. Cool. So we're gonna explore some more balance here. If you are by a wall, I'm gonna say give yourself about a leg's worth of space. And hands come to prayer at the heart, bring weight into the right foot. Tree pose, Vrikshasana, left foot rises. I'm gonna invite you to maybe find a more full expression here. So if that is a lifting of the leg higher, moving into it, and then we're gonna allow our arms to open up. If that feels okay, we're gonna actually bring movement into the shape. So lowering the left arm towards the back, right arm stretches up and overhead towards that bent left knee, and then we're gonna come back to center, right arm lowers, left arm stretches. So we're creating our own windstorm here. Because what fun would it be if it was like too easy? And if you fall, right? It's totally cool. I might fall. Beautiful. Find yourself back towards center, nice and still. Maybe it feels extra good now. You can always lower the right foot to the mat and shake it out in between shapes, or you can kind of keep the balance going. The left knee draws to face forward, so hips are neutral, either holding the left thigh or reaching for the left foot for Utthita Hasta Padangustasana A. The right hand can remain at the hip, or it can stretch up and overhead. Thinking about lengthen the right leg here. Steady breath. With your right hand either holding the left foot or the left thigh, we're going to investigate a fold forward towards the thigh any amount. So as you lift the thigh towards the chest, you're also going to fold the torso over. This is an intense balance, and we're still lifting through that right leg. Again, if you fall, you fall. Most of us probably will, right? Finding enough space in this shape that you can breathe, and also maybe that you can smile. Cool. Slowly, we're going to see if we can step back into pyramid pose. So kind of moving through a warrior 3, and then step the left foot back. Hands come to hips, fold forward. Awesome. And folding. So our right foot is in front of us. We're going to lift the right toes and just kind of get a little bit of a different stretch here. Stretching through our calf. Awesome. Step into the right foot for half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Left leg lifts, left arm will lift. If you want to take Shavasana here, you can. So bending the top leg, reaching for the foot. But it might be nice to just be really extended here. Your choice. Breathing in, bringing the right hand off the ground towards the chest for a full moon, so the torso will lift. Still reaching the crown forward. OMG, left leg steps behind the right, arms sweep back. We're going to take this into Krishna. So feet stay the same. We're going to play our flute over to the right hand side. So there's a little bit of a twist here. Breathing in, breathe out, come center, fold forward, left ankle crosses behind the right. Folding long over the legs. Take a moment of ease here as you connect earthbound towards the ground. Flat back as you breathe in and then step the left foot back, lower the knee, Anjaneyasana, untucking the left toes, arms stretch up and overhead. Thumbs reaching back, and then let's actually interlace the arms. So finding that same stretch here, reaching the elbows up. So seeing if that lets you find a little bit more lift and spread in the chest. And then keeping the arms, breathe in. Exhale, revolve the heart towards the right hand side. Keeping the right arm on the right hand on the left arm then stretches. So you're using the right arm to peel yourself into a twist here. Twisting from the belly. Option to bend the left knee for some balance, but also a quad stretch. And then slowly return the foot to the ground if it's not already. Bring the left hand back to the right elbow and then back to center. Breathe. And as you breathe out, hands come to the mat. Lengthen the right leg as you fold forward. Inhale for Anjane. Exhale, lengthen, send the hips back. Breathe and exhale, send it back. One more inhale, Anjane, downward facing dog, the footsteps all the way back. A couple rounds of breath here. And just like the last time we were here, really bending the knees. It's an active leg as you stretch the hips up. Navel to spine, firming up the belly. Travel to the top of your mat however you'd like to get there, a step or a hop. Remembering to give yourself space if you're by a wall, and then come on up to stand. So if you need to maybe measure it out. Cool. Hands will come to your hips. Left foot is our anchor, so the right foot for tree pose. Connecting wherever feels good. Hands will start at the heart, but then we'll allow our tree to really open up and blossom. And you notice how the tree opens up and blossoms without fear of falling over, right? It doesn't resist growing because it's like, well, now I'll be more susceptible to the wind, right? It trusts its root structure. It trusts its foundation, starting to sway if you did on the other side. And I think we can learn quite a bit from that too, right? Allowing ourselves to open up to kind of like experience the world even when it is chaotic, because we have some trust in our foundation. And our foundation can be, right, like all the experience that we've had, but it's also our yoga practice, it's our sadhana, it's the things we do consistently to like help us stay connected. Come back to center. Again, you can always take a break, lowering the right foot to the ground. Utthita A, so the right knee comes to face forward and holding either that thigh or reaching for the foot, just with the right hand to start. So your left hand can reach up here. Right, a smile helps. And if you're having one of those days where like every balancing pose you fall, that's okay. Those days happen, and those days are important, because then the days when we are a little bit more in tune with the balance, we can enjoy them just a little bit more. Bringing the left hand to the foot, and then we're going to find that fold in any degree. Maybe it's just like kind of like a whisper, or our gaze turns towards the leg. And then we're going to float through Warrior 3, into pyramid pose. Hands will come to the hips, and then folding it forward. So we can bring our hands to the earth, flexing the left foot. So we're getting just a little bit of a different stretch here as you fold forward. Beautiful yogis. One more inhale. One more exhale. Look forward, step into the left foot, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, right foot lifts, right arm lifts. A micro bend in the left knee might be helpful here, right? To just feel your muscles supporting you. And we're balancing, right? We're going for it. So full moon, the left hand tries to leave the ground as it looks for the chest. You got it. And breathe. Ooh, we're going to step into OMG. Ooh. And then we'll take it to Krishna. So we're going to play our flute over to the left-hand side. Knees are bent. Breathing in. Breathing out. Unwind your twist. Cross the right ankle behind the left as you fold forward. Just take a stretch and wiggle your hips. And then the right foot steps back, low lunge. Anjane, lower the knee, untuck the toes. Arms come up and overhead. Reaching for the elbows as you lift the chest. Really feeling the ribs and the lungs have some space to expand here, right? As you're not only getting tall, but spreading yourself out. We'll breathe in together here. As you breathe out, twist to the left this time. So then it's your right arm that will extend, the left hand holds the right arm to just draw you towards this twist, remembering that it's coming from the belly. If you bent your leg on the other side, go for it here. See what happens. Slowly let that right foot return to the ground. Just take hold of the elbow once again. Come back to center. Lower the hands. Inhale in Anjane. Exhale, lengthen the leg. Breathe in Anjane. Exhale. Two more at your own pace, just flowing between these two poles, seeing how these two contrasting shapes, right, fit together so nicely. Beautiful. And then just let that left shin meet the right as you come to sit. Palms face up this time. Reach the shoulders up towards the ears, and on an exhale, draw them onto the back of the body as you sit tall. You can close your eyes. Your gaze will just be soft as you take 5 of your breaths in a mini seated meditation. Observing the breath in the same way that we did at the start of class, so that steady, natural inhale. Without effort, the exhale happens. Giving space and time for the pauses between the breath. And then opening the eyes once you complete that 5th round of breath. So hopefully we're kind of feeling ourselves transition to this next part of our practice. If you have blocks, they are going to be awesome for our next piece of practice. If not, we're just taking a variation of locust pose, Shalambhasana. So if you don't have blocks or something to support yourself here, not to worry, right? You can still come into this shape. So we're gonna take a block on the lowest setting, and then we're gonna bring one just resting on it like this, kind of like a ramp for ourselves. And then if you have a blanket, that's gonna be a really nice piece here. So I like to kind of bring mine like a stick of gum to drape over just so it's nice and cushy.
And then you're gonna bring your pelvis to the block. So we're starting in like a, kind of like an up dog shape here. And if you need to adjust your block at all, kind of walking it back so the incline is less steep. The pelvis is towards the bottom of the block, so you can actually like rest your torso on it here. So we could stay in this like up dog sphinxy mashup and just allow ourselves to be supported. And so then we can really concentrate our work in the chest. So feeling the collarbones expand and the shoulder blades draw together on the back as elbows work in. If you're like, I'm feeling good, I want to kind of like open this up to some other possibilities, bending the legs and then maybe reaching back for the ankles. And so here we already have that general lift, so the press of the feet into the hands is just going to help you open the chest up a little bit more. And because we're not holding ourselves up, right, we've got the blocks helping us do that, we get to experience this shape in a little bit of a different way. If it's comfortable, I think we might be able to remain here a little bit longer in whatever shape you choose. And just breathing, watching the breath, experience how the breath moves through this like spread open heart. If you can, 2 more breaths where you are. And then if you have the feet, you'll let one go at a time, and then the other, letting it go. Pressing into the hands, we'll all come off the blocks and send our hips back to a child's pose. Forehead to the ground, knees can be wider together, but let yourself really sink into the earth. Rocking the head from side to side and maybe even the hips from side to side. And then the hands will help you come back up to a comfortable seat. I'm just going to move my props over to the side, and I'm going to come to face you. And we'll start with our feet together for butterfly pose. And then I'm going to extend the right leg long for Janu Shirshasana. So you can then connect that left foot to the right thigh and then remove the flesh from underneath you, establishing this connection once again. Right, that connection is always there, but we're just taking, taking measures to really enhance it, to clarify it, to take anything that might feel in the way out of the equation so we can get really direct. Arms will reach up and overhead, and we're going to center our heart over that right leg. Let an exhale carry you down. Hands can connect to either the thigh, the ground, the ankle, or maybe the foot. Seeing if we can keep our heart reaching towards the center of the leg. So there is some kind of twist happening here. We don't need to let the chin tuck towards the chest, but see if you can soften the neck, right? So that the neck becomes in line with the rest of your spine. And 2 more breaths, yogis. And then as you inhale, you're going to come up to sit. Left hand plants outside of the left hip for a stargazer pose. Right arm lifts. Really press that pelvis forward, pressing the belly forward. As you exhale, lower down. And then the left leg will lengthen and the right foot connects. Moving on your own time here. So just adjusting yourself. And then on an inhale, the arms will lift. When you're ready, you're folding forward onto that left leg. So maybe you need a little bit more time seated tall, or maybe you're ready to go right to it. Right, just like each and every tree flows a little bit differently in the wind, like so too are our bodies different. So we can just like trust that our timing is right for us.
Breathing in together, yogis. Breathing out. And then use the hands to bring you up. Stargazer, right hand outside of the left hip. Sweep it up, really shine the belly. And then come on down. We're gonna come onto our backs, so you might have to spin around and come to lay down. Feet are on the mat as you roll yourself down. So settle yourself in, and then your feet will come mats with distance apart. So as opposed to just a static or like stationary twist, we're going to windshield wiper our knees over to the left and then over to the right. So this is going to look a little bit different for each of us. You can really lower the legs all the way to the ground, or they can just kind of more sway in the wind. If you're coming to the ground, there might be a moment of pause here before you lift and then lower to the other side. So just move how you need to as we just neutralize our spine. And for our final shape, coming into happy baby. So planting feet on the mat, spine is nice and long, and then knees to chest, reaching for outer blades of the feet. As always, if there's like something else that you really, really want to take shape pose-wise before you rest, you always have that power. But I'm ready to guide us into Shavasana, our final rest. So when you're ready, you're going to let your legs extend long. If you have a blanket, to kind of further emphasize this grounding, it can be nice to place it over your hips. But up to you, however you feel most comfortable. And the eyes close and the gaze is soft. And we'll breathe in together one last time, really filling up, pausing at full, holding, and then exhale completely and rest.
Begin to notice your breath once again as it naturally becomes deeper. Filling your body with breath, filling your body with awareness. Scanning the body and observing all of the places where you are connected to the ground and connected to the earth. Connected to this energetic of support. And just notice the sensation and the quality of that connection. Notice how that connection perhaps fosters a sense of safety and vulnerability. Once you're ready, let some small movement return to fingers, toes. The head might rock from side to side. And then bringing the feet to the floor as they journey in towards the chest, rounding the spine, giving yourself a hug, tucking chin in. You might roll to one side as you pause in a fetal position and just take another opportunity to observe the connection with the ground. When you're ready, returning up to a seated position, taking with you that sense of grounded connection, and then allowing that support to unravel and unwind your torso, sitting tall and free. And with a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly, just take one last opportunity to sway the torso from side to side. Like a tree, like a rose bush, a branch in the wind. At ease with the movements, right? Because we are connected to something even greater than ourselves, whatever that might be. And I'll close our practice with that passage that we started. Human beings are soft and supple when alive, stiff and straight when dead. The myriad creatures, the grasses and trees are soft and fragile when alive, dry and withered when dead. Therefore it is said, the rigid person is the disciple of death. The soft, supple, and delicate are lovers of life. An army that is inflexible will not conquer. A tree that is inflexible will snap. The unyielding and mighty shall be brought low. The soft, supple, and delicate will be set above. Letting your hands find a prayer above your heart. May we all find that greater connection that establishes us to truth, that allows us to sway, to flow, to be willingly vulnerable in life. That allows us to experience the dance, the ebb and the flow, the rise and the fall. And let's close our practice with one final Om. The light in me bows to the same light that lives in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all. I wanted to just come closer to end class. Thank you so much for being here, whether you joined live. I see 2 of you are here. And if you're going to watch this at another time, thank you for being here. It's really awesome to still get to connect and serve and support the West End Yoga family. Just kind of some housekeeping shop talk. We do have a Patreon going, so if you are able to support us financially at this time, we are accepting donations on the Patreon page. You can really pick your amount. And if that's not accessible for you right now, no problem. Just come and do yoga and be with us, because we are happy to have anyone and everyone here. If you aren't on our Facebook page, we have a special West End Yoga Kula, so we can really kind of interact a little bit more deeply than just on our regular Facebook. So if you have questions about that, you can always drop drop a line here or reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, email. We got you. We're here for you. So thank you so much and have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll see you soon.